Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you are fine. So please support me and like and subscribe to my channel. In this part, after 1 hour later, a guy came there and said to Supreme Elder, Ives is here. After that, Ives came there and say, Greetings. For what do you want to see me? He said to him, Ives, you are lived in our house for more than 10 years. We have treated you well, haven't we? Ives said to him, yes, not bad. For the past over 10 years, you gave me food and clothes. Then Supreme Elder said to him, Ives, remember what you said today. If our house Windsor offended you one day, please have mercy on us. Ives replied to him, you are so serious today. Supreme Elder, I will remember what you all have done for me forever, and will repay you one day. Anyway, I am not an ungrateful man. Steward Yun thinking that he really amazed me. Though he lives under someone else's roof, he is still neither servile nor overbearing, just like his father, King Chi. Since he is a grateful man, it's worth making a bet on him. Then Supreme Elder tells to Ives, this is Steward Yun. He has something to talk with you. Steward Yun saying to Ives, greetings, my prince. Then Ives said to him, Steward Yun, why are you crying? Prince M. Who is the prince? You got a wrong person. I am not a prince, or something like that. You must have gotten a wrong person. Steward Yun was weeping and said to him, I didn't. You are the prince. You truly are. After so many years, I finally found you. Ives was shocked and say, I don't know what are you saying. Then Steward said to him, let me explain this. Your true name is Aaron Chi, the third son of King Chi. Over 10 years ago, your mother was murdered, while you were saved by the third elder of the house Windsor. I have not found you until now. Ives was surprised and say, what? So you mean, I am the son of King Chi? Right, it's impossible you got a wrong person, didn't you? Steward said to him, I didn't. Your looks and the way you speak are just like your father when he was young. I am sure, I got the right person. As long as the third elder returns, the truth will come to light. After that, Supreme Elder say, Ives, had men go find him. By the time, he will tell everything to you, my prince. Ives was upset and say, was my mother truly dead that year? Steward Yun said to him, yes, your mother was murdered. Ives was angry and said to him, who did this? Take me to the house Chi to see my father right now. Tell him to find the murderer, and tear him into pieces. He said to Ives, not now, not today, my prince. It's not the time for you to go meet your father. Ives said to him, but why? I am the son of King Chi, or I. Please go ahead. Steward said to him, this is complicated. It involves a lot of past matters. In those years, your mother was the favorite concubine of King Chi. Every concubine in harem badly wanted your father favor. But your mother power is the weakest. Concubine Yun is King Yang daughter and concubine Ning is King Zhao sister. They looked kind, but were actually very vicious. It's they who secretly poisoned your mother to death. You were also almost poisoned to death. Luckily, you were saved and brought out by the third elder of the house Windsor. Otherwise, I am afraid you would have been dead. Ives thinking that he is as cunning as a fox, and has some wild ambition. Then Ives said to him, I see. Never thought my mother was murdered by those two vicious women. My poor mother. She had no one to depend in the house Chi, and died of murder. Steward said to him, the concubine Yun and concubine Ning has always wanted you dead. That's why you cannot go back now. Once you did, you would be in great danger. Steward said to him, don't be rash. We need to bide our time. Ives said to him, Steward Yun, please help me wipe them out. I am alone, having no one to depend on except you. Then Steward said to him, don't worry, my prince. I will protect you, even at the cost of my life. Trust me, please, my prince, please do as I planned. Don't be too rash, okay? Ives said to him, I am willing to do as you tell me to. Steward Yun was upset and say, please don't bow. I am willing to stand on your side, and serve you, now and always. I will never betray you. Then Ives said to him, I do trust you. Since I was young, I have no one to depend on. You are the first one to treat me so well. Steward Yun, if you agree, I will take you as my second father. He said to Ives, I am over-honored. Please don't do this. If King Chi knew this, I would sure be sentenced to death. Then Ives said to him, I won't let my father know this. My greetings, second father. Steward Yun said to him, you don't need to be so polite V. I will do everything I can to help you return to the house Chi. Ives say, thank you, my second father. After that, steward said to Supreme Elder, Jonas, I will leave the prince with you. Please take care of him. Supreme Elder said to him, yes. I will try best to take a good care of him. Then Supreme Elder said to Ives, sorry, Your Highness. We didn't know your true identity. If offered you before, please forgive us. From this moment on, the House Windsor will follow your leadership, now and always. Ives said to him, that you have overstated it, Supreme Elder. As I said before, no matter what, the House Windsor has raised me up. Since I was a child. I won't forget this, and I will repay you double. Supreme Elder said to him, Your Highness, you are so generous and forgiving. Your Highness, you have lived here for many years. But I haven't had something to give you. So, please take this. After that, Supreme Elder gave him the Celestial Slayer. Ives look at him, and say, this is the Celestial Slayer. What did you mean, Supreme Elder? Supreme Elder said to him, I got this holy treasure unintentionally. On this sword are the martial arts mantras left by the Taoist Gabriel. If you learned these, your cultivation base would be increased, apparently and immediately. Your Highness, I intend to give you this as a gift. Then Ives began to thinking that, no matter for Steward Yun or Jonas Windsor, it's not an easy thing for them to climb up to the position they have now. Steward Yun said so much, just wanting me to stand on his side. And Jonas planned to give me the Celestial Slayer. He must be up to something. The Celestial Slayer has been exposed. Jonas knows that, with current strength of the House Windsor, he has no way to keep it. The Celestial Slayer will only bring them more trouble. So he intended to give me as a gift, making me owe him one. In this way, he will get rid of a big trouble, and make me pleased at the same time. If I failed to enter the House Qi, he still could snatch it back from me. Alas, but he was wrong about one thing. I am not that weak, Aaron. Once the Celestial Slayer falls into my hands, I won't ever let anyone snatch it from me. Then Ives said to Supreme Elder, thank you, Supreme Elder. After that, Ives said to him, by the way, I have one more thing to ask you. But I don't know whether or not you are willing to do it. Supreme Elder said to him, that Your Highness, just go ahead, please. I will do it as long as I can. Then Ives said to him, that Elizabeth the fourth elder daughter, is talented and has a good cultivation base. And has her own unique understanding of martial arts. So, I want her to cultivate martial arts with me, okay? Supreme Elder said to him, as her master I have no objection, but I got to ask for her opinion on this. I will let her response as soon as possible. At that moment, Steward Yun came there and laughing, ha ha ha. And say, Jonas, you have a good apprentice. She is beautiful, talented and has reached the 6th level of heavenly martial arts at such a young age. If she married our prince, it would be a heaven-made match, right? Then Ives said to him, I will respect her opinions, and won't force her to do it. I want nothing else. All I want is to cultivate martial arts with her. Supreme Elder thinking that what sophisticated thoughts he has. I really can't underestimate him. Then he said to Ives, don't worry, Your Highness. I will try best to persuade her. This is her honor to have a chance to cultivate martial arts with you. Next day, Supreme Elder tells to Evan Windsor that Ives wants to cultivate martial arts with Elizabeth. Evan Windsor was surprised and say, what did you say, brother? That Ives wants my daughter cultivate martial arts with him. I really don't know what he is up to. I am really pissing off. He thought the whole House Windsor is at his mercy. Then Elizabeth asked to Master, did he really say that? Evan Windsor say, if this little dare to do something bad to my daughter, I will skin him. Then Supreme Elder said to him, Evan, don't be rude. According to what Steward Yun said, Ives should be a son of King Qi. He has lived in our house for many years, indeed. But his identity is quite noble, after all. So we need to watch our tongues. If we really offended him, this would only bring us big trouble. Evan Windsor was shocked and say, what? He is a son of King Qi. Supreme Elder said to him, there is no doubt about his identity. Since Steward Yun said so. Evan Windsor thinking that luckily, I didn't offend him too much before. Never thought he would be a son of King Qi. Then Evan Windsor said to him, Ives is a son of King Qi. How could he be left behind in our house? Supreme Elder said to him, it's said that over 10 years ago, someone kidnapped him and brought him out of the House Qi. Elizabeth was also surprised after listen about Ives and she thinking that Ives, a son of King Qi. How could it be? Evan Windsor said to him, the third elder did it, right? How dare he kidnap King Qi's son? Did he go insane? Supreme Elder said to him, I don't think it's him. Given his cultivation base then, he wouldn't dare to do that. I am afraid, only when he comes back, can we know the real truth. Evan Windsor remained silent. After that Evan Windsor called Elizabeth. She said to him, yes, father. He said to her, since Ives is the son of King Chi, we have no reason not to serve him well. Remember not to offend him. Then she replied to him, Father, didn't you say he is up to something evil, and I need to be on guard against him? He never sullied my name. I hasn't yet made him pay for this. Then Evan Windsor said to her, Elizabeth, don't be rash. Things have changed. You know how powerful King Chi is in the Ji prefecture. He rules life and death here. It would be a piece of cake for him to wipe us all out, if he wanted to do. Now his son living under our roof. If he got any hurt, we couldn't explain this to King Chi, and appease his anger. Since he wants to cultivate martial arts with him, this means he feels something for you. You must take advantage of this to get him. Maybe you will be his future wife. Elizabeth was shocked and say, Father, what do you take me for? She was angry. Then Evan Windsor said to her, I did this for your good. After that, Supreme Elder said to him, Evan, don't force her. This is only a matter between them two. And Supreme Elder said to her, Elizabeth, you know, our house Windsor is at stake. Honestly speaking, I don't know why he only wants you to cultivate martial arts with him. Maybe he wants to draw us over to his side. We can't refuse him, right? If you are not willing, I will send others. Elizabeth say, I am willing to do it. Master, as one of the House Windsor, I won't ever refuse it, as long as house needs me. Supreme Elder said to her, good. That's good. She was upset and thinking that what the hell does that jerk want to do? Supreme Elder said to Evan Windsor, Steward Yun is now taking a rest in the chamber. Let's go together to visit him. Evan Windsor say, yes. On the other side, in Jinho City, Lily said to Baron, I haven't been out for a long time. The Jizhou city has changed so much. Quite different from what it was before. Baron said to her, Sister, if you want something, I can go buy for you. Lily said to him, Don't bother. I just want to have a look around. Ives is still waiting for us. Let's go find him right now. Or we may spoil his matter. Baron was laugh, ha ha ha. She said to him, Hey. What's the matter? Baron said to her, Seeing you like this, I feel really happy. Ha ha ha. Then Lily was also laughing, ha ha ha. Baron said to her, Don't worry, sister. Ives just wants to treat us to wine in the Drunk Wind restaurant. This is also chance for you to have a look around outside. Lily say, I see. At that moment, Yi Bolton suddenly seeing Lily there, and he say, Lily, brother-in-law. Never thought I would meet you here today. Is this the god arrangement that we are fated to meet here? Then Baron was aggressive and said to him, Who is your brother-in-law? Take back what you said, or I will beat you up. After that Yi Bolton came near to Baron and said to him, Tisk tisk, why are you so pissed off? Baron was angry and said to him, Humph, you are not qualified. The only one in this world who is qualified to be my brother-in-law is Ives. Lily was shocked and say, Baron, what the hell are you saying? Yi Bolton angrily said to him, Humph, how dare you cuckold me? You bitch, don't you know there is a marriage engagement between us? Baron was shocked and shouted on him, What did you say? Then Yi Bolton companion say, Be careful young master. Baron thinking that a martial master. People were also shocked. Now what happened? It's so strange. With only 5th level of heavenly martial arts. How could he give off such weird strong aura? Has he cultivated the divine feather arts of the House Windsor? Then Yi Bolton said to Baron, Sigh, I really have no idea. Why you are so pissed off? If the House Windsor still maintains the alliance with us, our marriage engagement won't ever be cancelled. I am afraid you have to accept it even if you don't want to. Lily. Then Ives said to him, Flame is now missing. You thought our House Windsor still want to make an alliance with the House Bolton. At that moment, Dimmons came there, and he said to Baron, who said, the House Windsor didn't want to make an alliance with our House Bolton. You brat, you would better watch your mouth. Then Lily replied him, Sorry, we didn't mean to offend. But if you constantly force me to marry into your house, I would rather die. Dimmons said to her, Not surprised. After all, you were the most talented martial arts apprentice in the House Windsor in those years. Even if you are in such a sorry situation, you can still keep so calm. It will be a pity, if you sits on the wheelchair for the rest of your life. Then Yi Bolton said to her, Lily, what's not good about marrying me? If you became my wife, you would lead a happy life. And get anything you want. Anyway, it's better than being a cripple in the wheelchair, isn't it? Lily was upset and say, please forgive me, young Master Bolton. I just can't. Yi was angrily say, you. Dimon said to her, ho ho ho, don't make such a hasty decision, Lily. You were poisoned by the 7-star grass. If you didn't have the antidote, I am afraid you would be confined to the wheelchair for the rest of your life. Lily was surprised, and said to him, how did you know I was poisoned by 7-star grass? Dimon said to her, Lily, is it that important to know this? Lily was weeping and replied him, I wish to know the truth. Then Dimon said to her, Lily, there is no need to get to the bottom of everything. All you need to know is that you got poisoned and I have the antidote. As long as you are willing to marry into our house Bolton. Lily aggressively say, then so what, if I am not willing to do it? Dimons was angry and said to her, humph, then don't blame us for being rude. Then Baron said to him, what do you want to do? Lily was upset and silent. Baron say, sister, I won't allow them to hurt you. Lily said to Dimons, all right, I go with you. Baron was shocked and say, sister. Then she replied to him, but, left my brother off. Dimons said to her, I am afraid. I can't, he has to go us as well. After that, Yi said to Lily, as long as you become my wife, you don't need at all to worry about the safety of your brother, right? Baron shouted and say, Yi Bolton. You bastard. Lily said to Baron, forget it. We are no match for Dimons, after all. Dimons replied to her, you can see the situation so clearly. No wonder you were ever the most talented member in the House Windsor. Lily was upset, and say, please lead the way. Demons replied to her, this way please. On the other side, at the same time, Ives was drinking a tea. At that moment, Sansa came there, Ives seeing towards Sansa and said to her, hey, Sansa. Why are you here? Such beautiful scenery, why not have a drink with me? Sansa replied to him, that you still have the mood to drink wine here. If I told you, your little Valentine had been captured and taken away by others, would you still be in the mood to drink at ease here? Ives laughed, ha ha ha, and said to Sansa, little Valentine, between the heaven and earth, you are the only one I love. You know this, don't you? Have you forgotten the promise we made 10 years ago? I promised you that I would marry you. When you grow up. She was angry and replied to Ives, humph, you smooth talker. I will never believe your words. If I told you, Lily and Baron had been taken away by the House Bolton, would you still happily sit at ease here, flirting with me? Ives was shocked and he asked to her, where? Sansa replied to him, oh, Cloud Willow Gardens, north of the city. Then Sansa thinking, that I really thought you could always keep calm no matter what happens. After that both were going toward the Willow Gardens. When they reached in Cloud Willow Gardens, Ives said to Sansa, I thought you had left away. Sansa replied to him, don't ever think I come here for you. I just don't want such a good girl to be insulted by a scum. Then Ives said to Sansa, do you know what I like about you? You are hard on the outside and soft on the inside. You always say you don't want it, but your body is honest with you. Sansa was aggressive and saying to Ives, you bastard. Ives replied to Sansa, oh my. It is time we saved them. Sansa said to Ives, humph, watch your mouth in the future. I don't want you to like me. Ives replied to Sansa, nobody here. Sansa replied to him, this place is weird. We need to send people to investigate first. Ives said to her, no need. She was angry and saying to him, Ives, you are the master of the Supreme Sect, I must make sure you are safe, always. Don't act like a willful child. Ives replied to her, with you by my side, there is nothing to worry about. Sansa said to Ives, let's go inside together. You are so impatient, because you are worried about that girl, right? I really don't know you are smart or stupid. On the other side, Yi Bolton said to Lily, since you threaten me with your life, we have no choice but lock you here. If you think this thought, we will let you two out. And then said to Baron, try to persuade your sister now. Baron replied to Yi Bolton, stop your daydreaming. My sister will never marry a scum like you. Demons replied to Baron, humph, then you will be locked here forever. After locking Baron and Lily, they both were going towards the outside. Lily said to Baron, it's all my fault that puts you into danger. Baron replied to Lily, sister, don't blame yourself. It's obvious that they are too despicable. They took this opportunity to kidnap you. Ives has an amazing healing skill. Only by feeling your pulse can he know you are poisoned by 7-star grass. But Demons K owns this only by taking a look. It's very likely that he is the murdered who poisoned you. It's a pity that I am too weak. I can't kill those two scums. Lily replied to Baron, that in my opinion, it's the House Bolton that did this. It seems that you blame Elizabeth wrongly. Make an apology, next time you see her. Baron replied to Lily, that it's my fault. But I can't understand why the House Bolton poisoned you. Lily said to him, I can't understand, either. Then she thought that I even didn't realize. I had sat on the wheelchair for so many years. On the other side, Ives said to Sansa, as expected, there is a hidden passage. Sansa replied to Ives, how do you know? There is a hidden passage in this mansion. Ives said to her, don't you remember that there is a book called 9 Shadow Hidden Tricks, in the book hall of our sect? I have read it over and over again. I can easily end the most hidden tricks, not to mention a hidden passage. Sansa was worried and she stopped, said to the Ives, 9 Shadow Hidden Tricks. It's a book with several millions of words. You have read through it. Ives replied to Sansa, don't be surprised. G have read through all books there. Am I wise enough to be qualified to become the master of the Supreme Sect? Sansa replied to him, that our master is far wiser than you are. Given your cultivation base, you should feel ashamed about being the sect master. My senior brother is more qualified than you. Ives replied to Sansa, that you are right. Greg is indeed more qualified than me. But our master has more preference for me. I said a word to him. So he decided to pass on the seat of sect master to me. Sansa was shocked and said to him, what did you say? Ives replied to Sansa, that I will tell you, if you marry me. She said to Ives, shame on you. Stop daydreaming, then just forget it. Ives, say it right now. Be careful. Ives, let go of me. Then Ives said to her, shish. Be quiet. They listened the voice of footstep. Sansa, say, hey, you. Both were disappeared from there. Ye Bolton, said to Demons, uncle, if she always threatens us with her life, what should we do? Demons replied to him, you are so useless. That you even can't do anything about a woman. If she does, you can use some tricks. Don't you know this? You are not that stupid. If she becomes your woman, she will naturally act upon whatever you say. Our years of sophisticated arrangement will be paid off soon. Ives hold Sansa on arms and say, shish, don't speak. Ye Bolton said to Demons, what's wrong uncle? Then Demons reply to him, did I feel it wrong? Ye Bolton said to uncle, is there anything here? Demons replied to him, nothing. Let's go. Then Sansa said to Ives, shame on you. Ives replied to Sansa, you are a master-level assassin. How could you not notice someone coming over? They are gone, but may return at any time. How can you be so careless? Sansa replied to Ives, it's all because of you. Ives said to Sansa, it's all because of me. She was angry and thinking that why did Master pass on the seat of sect master to him? Ives with smiling face said to Sansa, as a master-level assassin, you should stay calm, no matter what happens. Seems you didn't keep in mind what our master said at all. Sansa replied to him, Ives, do you know what I am thinking about? I want to perish together with you. Ives laughed and said to her, that please don't do this. My life is cheap, while you are a woman as pretty as a flower. It's not wise for you to perish together with me. If I could die with such a beauty like you, and then be reborn as a pair of butterfly in the next life. This will be a great luck for me. This is just what I always want. She was angrily replied to him, Ives, stop daydreaming. Ives said to her, even if I die, I will always wish you could live a good life. If there is a burning hell ahead, I wish I could go inside alone. Even if I die, I will always wish you could live a good life. How I wish you were not one member of the Supreme Sect. Sansa was shocked and upset seeing towards Ives. After that, Ives said to her, I am just kidding. Sansa was angry and replied to Ives, I am going to kill you. Ives said to Sansa, oh no. Sansa, have mercy. Ouch. Please don't hit there. If you continue this, I will lose the ability to have a baby. Ouch. Sansa, it's my fault. Baron was worried and said to Lily, sister, how long will they lock us in here? Aren't they afraid our house Windsor will come here to look for us? Lily replied to Baron, this place is hard to find. I am afraid nobody can find it. Even if we are locked here for 1 or 2 years. Baron said to her, that we can't just wait here doing nothing, right? I don't know if Ives can find this place or not. Lily replied to him, I hope he can't. There are a lot of dangerous tricks and traps. All the way here. If he came here to look for us, I am afraid he would be killed. Baron replied to her, you are right. We got to think of a way to get out of here. After all, we can't always count on Ives. This wall here was built with solid marble. I think it's impossible for us to dig a hole through this wall. Lily replied to him, then we have no choice but break the iron bars ahead. Baron said to her, but sister, these iron bars are forged with dark steel. And they each is as thick as an arm. It's even more solid than the wall. We have no way to break the iron bars. Lily replied to Baron, that's not necessarily the case. Baron asked his sister, you have a way? Lily replied to Baron, I have been confined to bed for years, and have tasted all kinds of herbals. I ever tried to cure poison with poison. During the process of tasting herbals, I found some strange fatal poisonous things. Then Baron said to her, that strange fatal poisonous things. Then she showed the bottle and said that this poisonous liquid is from Roaring Flame Grotto, having a very strong corrosive action. A very small amount of this liquid can even melt the refined steel. I didn't collect much of it, so I don't know if it's useful or not. Baron replied to Lily, you want to use it to melt the dark steel, right? She replied to Baron, yes. On the other side, Demons and Ye Bolton coming outside the Cloud Willow Gardens. Ye Bolton said to Demons, that why don't we lock Lily and Baron in different rooms? In this case, Demons replied to him, stop, you're stupid. Thinking Lily and Baron are sister and brother. If we had forcibly locked them in different rooms, they would have threatened us with their lives. So, we can't be too rash. Ye Bolton laugh, hee hee, and say, thanks for your being so thoughtful. Demons stop and said to him, wait. Ye Bolton said to him, Uncle, what's wrong? Demons reply to him, there is something wrong inside. Then Demons going towards the outside again and Ye Bolton said to him, what? But Demons, check the place again, everywhere silence and he can't found nothingness. Then I've said to Sansa, that I can't see any trick or trap here. Sansa, can you see any trick or trap set up here? Sansa replied to him, no, the person setting up tricks and traps here is very amazing. If we continued to go forward, I am afraid we would be met with great dangers. Then Ives asked to Sansa, what should we do then? Sansa replied to him, if you think it's too risky, we can give up saving them. After all, you are the master of the Supreme Sect. Ives asked to Sansa, are you caring about me? She replied to Ives, that personally speaking, I want you to disappear from my sight right now. I don't want you to get into the trouble, because you are the master of the Supreme Sect. Ives replied to Sansa, that all right. You don't have to explain it. I know everything. Sansa was angry and said to him, Humph, I don't want to talk with you. It's my duty to keep you safe. So, you must go back now. Ives replied to Sansa, actually, I am sometimes thinking whether I am qualified to become the sect master or not. Sansa replied to him, never thought you would know your limitations. Ives said to her, that actually, I am somewhat curious about why our master made me sect master when he died. Is it all because of a joke? When I was young, even if I am the master of the Supreme Sect, I can't make the final decision on many things. Rationally speaking, Lily and Baron are nothing but a sleeping stone to our goal. Actually, I don't have to take the risk to save them up when it's crunch time. But I just can't do it. I am so indecisive. I am really not suitable to be the sect master. Sansa replied to Ives, that you don't have to think this way. Since our master made you sect master, I think he must have his own reasons to do so. I intend to take my own revenge with the help of the Supreme Sect. Is it right or wrong? The Great Zhou Empire is always the enemy of our sect. The king of the Great Zhou slaughtered many disciplines of our sect. Even if you didn't lead us to take revenge, we would still fight till the last breath we draw. This matter can't be judged as right or wrong. I've said to Sansa, that you always think nothing. Sometimes, it's not bad to be like this. But sometime, I am thinking. The Zhou Empire has been stabilized, and people live a peaceful life now. If I stirred up a war, many innocent would be involved and dead. Sansa replied to him, I have never been afraid of death, since the day I became an assassin. Then I've said to Sansa, that this has nothing to do with whether you are afraid of death or not. Forget it. Since all members of the Supreme Sect want a war against the Zhou Empire, as the sect master, I won't flinch. But I can't just sit by, watching the people around me die, just because I am the master of Supreme Sect. Sansa replied to Ives, that stop your high-sounding words. You just want to save that woman. Then Ives said to Sansa, that if you were locked up, if you were met with some danger one day, I would rather I die than you. Sansa replied to Ives, humph, no matter what you say, I won't ever believe you. Just save your beautiful words to Lily. Since you are so determined to go save her, as a disciple of the Supreme Sect, I am willing to scout out a safe trail for you. Ives held Sansa's arm and said to her, that this time, forget this identity. Just let me do it. Then Ives moved forward and Sansa calls, Ives. Ives say, 8 trigrams pattern. Heaven earth water flame. This is EIFHT trigrams pattern. This person set up the traps according to the 8 trigrams patterns. Humph, I got to know what exactly 8 trigrams pattern he used. Sansa replied to Ives, that you know 8 pattern trigrams. Ives said to him, that 8 trigrams pattern were created by Fux, the human ancestor. Each of these patterns has very powerful energy. Right trigrams patterns have been all the time considered as the holy truth in man world. Somehow, 8 trigrams patterns fell into the hands of Changji. He gave a full play to these patterns. And mad the Sham Empire perish. If it hadn't been for him, the Shang Empire would still last several hundred of years. Sansa was surprised and saying to Ives, are these 8 trigrams patterns really so amazing? Ives replied to Sansa, of course they are. 8 trigrams patterns itself consists of Qian and Kun, respectively, representing heaven and earth. 8 trigrams patterns can be used to predict how the world will evolve and change. These patterns can even be used to predict the rise and fall of an empire. Then Sansa asked to Ives, can you predict how long the Zhou Empire will last? Ives replied to Sansa, sigh, you overestimate me too much. I only know a little about the 8 trigrams patterns. It's enough to deal with these tricks and traps, but far less enough to predict the rise and fall of an empire. I am afraid, given Changji full mastery over the 8 trigrams patterns, he can keep the Zhou Empire alive for at least 800 years. Unless we can make the heaven and earth reverse. Sansa saying to him, make the heaven and earth reverse. On the other side, Lily and Baron melt the dark steel. Baron saying to Lily, sister, never thought this liquid is so amazing that it can even melt the dark steel. Lily replied to him, yeah, it's very rare. I only collect a small bottle of it. Let's go right now. Ives saying to Sansa, let's go. Sansa asked to him, hey, Ives. Can you really deal with it? Ives replied to her, of course. Follow closely behind me. When Ives moved forward one step on this trigrams patterns, suddenly flaming of fire on every side, Ives say, oh no. This time, I am really not sure. Sansa saying to Ives, you bastard. You are going to kill us. Ives saying to Sansa, these traps were indeed set up according to the 8 trigrams patterns. But he made some changes to them. The person setting up these traps must be a master. A single careless action will easily trigger these traps. Sansa was upset and saying to Ives, let's retreat back right now. If you can't, Ives replied to Sansa, we can't now. If we did, these arrows ready to shoot would immediately pierce through our bodies. If there were some danger, I will save you first. These are 5 elements crossbows. Don't move, let me try breaking this pattern first. ULD managed to after that Ives opened the painting that gave him the grandfather. Sansa asked to Ives, what is this? Ives replied to her, the 9th heaven goddess painting that grandfather gave me.